Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm fixing to light some candles and make some cookies. I got the kitchen all cleaned up and I'm gonna make it not clean again. Welcome if you're brand new. It's nice to meet you, and welcome back, friends, if you're not new. Let's get to cooking, shall we? All right, here's my cookies. Now, I've got the stuff I need here and stuff I may not need. For instance, I may not need these sprinkles, but I got them out just in case things go south in the way I plan that they're gonna go. I've got some press and seal. I've got a cookie sheet lined with non-stick foil. Typically, I use parchment paper. That's my favorite, but I'm out and I forgot to order it. So I have to get that and two other things I forgot to order. I have a little container here that I put the last of my press and seal in here to keep it from sticking. And I've got a mixing bowl, a spatula, and a paddle, and my mixer's over there. It'll take too much room. I wanted to get this ready in case what I'm trying to do doesn't work. I'll show you as we go along. I saw this done on another channel, and I'm going to try it too. So, cookie dough. This is, your Pillsbury refrigerated section, the eggs and the cheese and the butters where they are here in my area. I'm going to cut this into thirds, and I'm going to try to make candy corn cookies. There'll be no candy corn in these cookies. They're supposed to look like candy corn when I'm done. So 1/3 will be plain or white, 1/3 will be yellow, and 1/3 will be orange. Now, the food color here, I've got orange and yellow. It's the gel kind. I don't know if it'll work or not. I'm sure going to try. So, because I'm using a foil-lined pan, a non-stick, these will cook at 325 degrees, and I think I need to write this down because I always have to dig it out of the garbage after I've thrown it away. 325 on a non-stick cookie sheet, and 2 inches apart, ungreased, blah, 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 11 to 14 minutes. So these are going to be smallish cookies, so I'm going to be checking them at 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, just to make sure. So, here's nothing. I don't want one color to be less than another color. I want it all even Steven, and I can't eyeball it and get it right, I'm sure. So what I'm going to do is use this. It's a disposable paper tape measure, and I, just going to put it on here and see. But anyway, I wanted to show you. I have probably, 100 of these left over. And what they are is for measuring newborns at birth and at 24 hours and 3 days and 7 days and 14 days and, like that. So anyway, that's what I used to do. I used to work with mothers and babies, and sometimes I miss it, and other times I think, the phone's not going to ring in the middle of the night tonight. Isn't that beautiful? Let's get to measuring. This shouldn't be too hard to work the color into, because being the first time, I don't know what I'm doing, and I let this soften, and it's real hard to cut these when they're soft. So in the end, I had to eyeball it anyway, because it just was, it's super soft. So I'm going to put the first into the, I'm going to get bowls out. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, I had this in here. I don't know why. It needs to go in here first, so why dirty a bowl? But I did. So here we go. I've got this layer down. This will be the white layer or the plain layer, and I'm going to make it as even as possible in a layer down at the bottom of this lined Rubbermaid Brilliance container. So I put it down, and then I went along and I did this. So that it would be as flat as I could get it. I was doing it with my fingers, but when I do it with my fingers, I feel like it doesn't make it as even with a flat, like of a spatula. Like I would have some parts where my fingers were heavier to work the dough, and a spatula won't do that. It's just the same every time you press it down. I tried to make sure I got the corners, the middle, the sides, and everything as even as I could. I'm going to stick this in the fridge and let it get a little bit hard before I add the next color, which will be, oh, let's say yellow. If you have it in you, you could totally use your own sugar cookie dough recipe, whatever, that you use for your family, for the kind of cookies you'd make and decorate would be perfect for this. This is going to make a lot less cookies because it's store-bought. They don't, like, I bet you if I made my sugar cookie dough, I would get 5 or 6 trays. But with this, I better get 1 tray. And that's fine because I don't even know if it's going to work. Okay, I spread this out a little bit so that I can add as little color as I need to, because I don't want to overdo it and make the dough sticky or taste funky or anything, in case there's any. I'm not real versed in these gel things, and I don't have any orange in the liquid. I mean, I know I can mix red and yellow and make orange, but I want it to just be straight up orange. Okay, here's the yellow. Okay, I hope that's enough. Put this over here so it doesn't get my top of my counter. It looks orange, doesn't it? I hope it turns yellow when I mix it. It's getting yellow, so I'm just going to continue to mix this around and not put my hands in it at all. My hands are also warm, and it makes this even more melty. There we go. That is yellow. I'm going to put the lid back on this food color because it's yellow enough for me. And I'm going to get busy on making the orange. I'm going to wipe down this real well first. Well, just with a dry paper towel because I don't want to mix any of the yellow in. I start by mixing flat as I can, just with the tip like this, so that I don't manipulate the dough too much. I know if you do that with my recipe of regular sugar cookie dough, it gets to be a tougher cookie. What does it matter? The kids are going to snarf it down anyway, but that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. Well, let's move this out of the way. All right. I want a distinct difference between yellow and orange, so I hope this will do that. That's probably too much, but it's my first time. I'm new here. Well, it worked. I do see a distinct difference between the orange and the yellow, so that's perfect. Now I'm going to give that dough in the refrigerator, the plain without any food color, I'm going to give it another 30 minutes, and then I will put down the orange, because that'll contrast against the plain better. I don't know that it even matters. I'll see you back here. All right, I think it's been enough time for the plain cookie dough to have hardened some. Now I kind of took this and tried to make it into different pieces. Instead of just putting it all in one, instead of putting it all in one, piece, I'm going to go ahead and put dots of this and then try to, because it's so soft, I'm afraid it won't spread without mixing into the other. Now I'm wondering if I should let this, no, I shouldn't let it harden. It'd be even harder to spread. Okay, I'm just going to go for it. That bowl is empty, and I put just dollops all over, so I'm going to gently pat it down for the second layer here. Okay, I just talked to a camera for 30 seconds. A photo, I mean, instead of a video. So anyway, I've got the second layer on. I don't know that it's even middle to the edges, but I sure tried to pat down and actually, do the edges so that they're tight and squared off, and they might look okay. I keep saying, oh, it's not going to work. And if it doesn't work, it's not a big deal. This is going in the refrigerator for another 15 or so minutes, maybe 20 or so. And then I'm going to put the yellow on the top. And then it's got to harden for several hours in order for me to get it out and slice it and bake it. but you won't have to wait several hours. It'll be magical. All right, I didn't get crazy about making a pizza and I'll just take it out like I did. Even though I made a pizza, I just took it out little bit by little bit, so it was a waste of time. Just so you know. Also, here's another thing. Before I get this thing out of the refrigerator, it's been in there for 20 minutes now, so probably it's good enough. If I were to try this again for the first time, knowing what I know now, and it would still be the first time, I would buy 2 rolls of cookie dough because I don't feel like there's enough of each color, if that makes sense. So 2 rolls of sugar cookie dough. My last bowl, the yellow color, is empty, and I'm going to take my spatula and smooth out the yellow on the top. There we go, all smoothed out on the top. It's not completely smooth, but it's, what am I trying to say? I tried to get the same amount everywhere. And I don't know what the layers are going to look like, but here it is in here. Now, even though this is that press and seal sticky kind of paper that I laid this down in, because you would not be able to get it out in one piece if you didn't do that, I don't think, because I'll just lift this up. I put the sticky side against the plastic and not against the cookie dough. And then I'm covering it so it doesn't dry out or look odd with the lid. And then it's already 1:17 p.m. So I'm going to try this evening, probably at, I don't know, 6 or 7 p.m. because I want it to be rock hard so that it'll slice nice. And cookie dough like this does get pretty hard. I don't want it to be frozen, but I want it to be super, super cold. Also, when you make sugar cookie dough, at home, I don't know if it's like this with store-bought, but like I'm using right now, when you make it at home, your cookies, if they're real cold and you're using cookie cutters or you want a certain shape or look, you want them to be cold because they'll set in the oven instead of kind of spread because they're already warm. Do you know what I mean? Always, always chill your sugar cookie dough if you didn't already know that, and I'm sure you probably do know that. So into the fridge for at least 5 hours. All right, here is that cookie dough that I did, and there's the layers. I don't know if you can even tell. There's white, orange, yellow. Whether this works out or not, I don't know. I'm trying now. Been in the refrigerator actually for closer to 24 hours because I just didn't have the oomph to do it. Now I'm going to try to pull it out of this, because I stuck it in here so it would retain its shape, so when I cut it, it would be easier for me to do it in a, yeah, well, maybe I let it wait too long and it got, I know what I'll do. I'll take a butter knife and kind of prop it out. Be right back. Not a sharp knife, just a butter knife. So I'm just going to see if I can loosen it. Oh, see, I bent it. I don't want to do that. Maybe let it just, yep, it just needs to come to room temperature the tiniest bit. And then it went ahead and lifted. I felt it. Yep, there it comes. Oh, good. We don't need your butter knife yet. Now, I'm going to take it out. Still in plastic. Just do it like this, I guess. There's that piece that I got off with the butter knife that I shouldn't have. There it is. You can see the layers so much better. This is just cookie dough. I'm going to get a sharp knife, not a butter knife. This is hard. Off the very end, just to make it more squared. Yes! Oh, that dog, that dog o' mine. I'm going to save these scraps, though, because I might do something else with them. I don't know yet. And I'm going to cut this part off to make it more squared. I hope my adult children are impressed. They won't be. Okay, saving the scraps. Now I'm going to cut it like this lengthwise. Let me go let that dog out. Check it out. Candy corn cookies. Okay, I got to work fast because this is already softening. I mean, like, softens faster than butter. butter. I'm drinking my bubble water. I've had my coffee onto water. It should be water then coffee, right? This is going back in the fridge. I'm going to point this top back up because it got mushed. These are going to go back in the fridge so they stay cold, so that when they cook like this and they don't melt. And I should, and I will, put the rest of this dough in the fridge with it so that it doesn't get warm. It stays cold. Okay, so I'm using non-stick foil. Typically, I use parchment paper. Last time I went for the grocery store, well, I didn't even go. I made an online order. I forgot to order parchment and instead ordered foil again. You see, every one of these is going to be different, where it's white on the top or yellow. I mean, white on the bottom or yellow on the bottom, just because you're doing it in this way. All right, next. So if you were here for the beginning of the video, you heard me say that I'm going to cook these at 325 because I'm using non-stick foil. I just cut it down a little bit from 350, and I'm supposed to bake between 11 and 13 minutes. These are tiny cookies. I'm going to start checking them at 8 or 9 minutes. I'm just going to watch them close. I know these are tiny, but so are animal crackers, and children love those, don't they? Yes. Be right back. Well, they're in there, and I can already see them melting. Like, especially the littler ones, they are just Wizard of Oz melting. At least they'll have the right colors. 4 more minutes. I'm pretty sure they're going to look like circles when they come out. Well, friends, you can't win them all. I really thought in my head they were going to come out triangles. This is just how it goes. You know, I've never been very good at sugar cookies, and even, I guess, in the Chubb, but, you know, it was store-bought. You know, you'd think it would work. So I'm going to let these cool a little bit, and then I'm going to put them over on another tray so that they'll cool thoroughly. But I don't want them to break when I pull them up, obviously. And so then I'll put that tray of just, you know, scraps in there and see how that works. Well, here you go. You know, I may have lost my Betty Crocker crown here. So here's the good news. I ate some of the scraps, and they're tasty. They're pretty good. But, you know, whether they look like candy corn or not, you know what they look like to me? They look like, you know those jigsaw puzzles that you can get that are autumn scenes? These look like hot air balloons in a jigsaw puzzle. The scraps are in the oven now. I can hardly wait. Well, here are the scraps. Oh my goodness. They're fine. They're just not, you know, they're even less than this. So what I had done was I rolled scraps into spirals, thinking that they would be spiraled. And, you know, kind of that one is sort of spiraled. And that one just looks like a wonky candy corn. So these will be fine. I'm sure these are going to be tasty with tea or coffee or milk. I'm not a milk drinker. Blah. Even when I was a child, I was like, no. You know what, though? If you serve it to me in an expensive Starbucks cup, I'll drink it. I usually get oat milk or almond milk. But anyway, that is going to be the end of my story. What would you have done different? Please tell me what you have anything. Would you have put them in the freezer before you baked them? Would you have changed the temperature some? Would you have not used store-bought cookie dough? Maybe your cookie dough would have worked better. Have you ever done this before? I have questions. Thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, I would love it if you subscribed. I love to meet new people. Take care, everybody.